All right. Well, I hope everyone had a happy Halloween and safe Halloween this last October 31st. Welcome to Webinar Wednesday. I'm your host here along with Patrick. I'm Jason, and we also have Gabe behind the scenes there to help chat with you guys. If you guys have any questions, if you chat in your questions to the GoToWebinar module, Gabe will be there to help you out and get you guys as quick answers as possible if we're not able to get to them in the verbal version of the webinar. So hey Pat and hey Gabe, thanks for being on with us today.
Always a pleasure to be here, Jason. Thank you.
If this is your first Webinar Wednesday, we always encourage you to join our free LinkedIn Marketing Strategy Network. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/LinkedIn. As long as you have a LinkedIn account, it's free to join. And if for any reason we're unable to answer your questions here on the webinar, it's a great place to continue the conversation and contribute to ongoing conversations and discussions about marketing your Brilliant Directories, your website and directory business. And also for those of you joining us for the first time again, the types of questions and the goal of Webinar Wednesday is pretty open. We want to help you as much as we can with your Brilliant Directories website. So any question is fair game. You can ask marketing questions, questions about setting up your site, diving into the code, how to edit content, change words, move things around, questions about generating leads, SEO, how to get more members to sign up to your site. We'll do our best to answer questions. If we're not able to answer the question, we might provide you with some resources that might point you in the right direction. So we're happy that you're here with us. It's great to be with you guys here, and we look forward to another great webinar. We did run a contest last week. We actually ran it 3 weeks in a row because it was such a good contest. We have one winner this week. It's Kenny Brooker. So Kenny, I hope that you're on the webinar today. You shared the design colors of your site, and we turned it into a preset color theme. I'll show you where that is now. So we'll email you with your $200 in credits, and I'll show everyone where that was. We got some really, really great recommendations here for pre-made color sets. And so we've added Kenny's as the newest one, and that's under the design settings, pre-made color sets. Now we got a ton of them. Great starting off point for designing your site. And Kenny's here is called Gray Matrix. It's a really cool combination of grays and these bright blues, and it makes for really, really good, stark, modern looking. We thought it looked a little robotic, but we've got Gray Matrix, Spacey Orange, Peaceful Purple, Playground, Dark Raspberry, a ton of these from your guys' recommendations. So thanks for participating in that contest. All right, we have a new contest, and this one, everyone is a winner. Super simple. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/shoutout. Gabe will share a link in the GoToWebinar chat. And all you have to do is leave a comment under the YouTube video about, it could be your favorite Brilliant Directories feature, anything that made you want to choose Brilliant Directories, anything about the webinars that you enjoy. You can go ahead and go to brilliantdirectories.com/shoutout, and I'll go there with you to the page. It should bring you to this YouTube page here, and you'll see the comment box down here, and you can start typing in a comment. So go ahead and do that. Everyone's a winner for just contributing and participating in that, and you can do that before or after the webinar. You can do it right now if you want. And it's brilliantdirectories.com/shoutout, and we'll see who left a comment, and we'll make sure to email you and let you know that the credit's been added to your Brilliant Directories account that you can use towards any additional purchases, such as add-ons, additional websites, training sessions, and more. So we really appreciate that and hope you guys can participate in this week's contest. And we do have a recommended reading. We've done this in the past. This is actually was recommended by Matthew Brooks, our co-founder here at Brilliant Directories. It's called Business Model Generation. What's really cool about this book, first of all, is it has tons of illustrations, comic book style illustrations, exactly how you're seeing here on the cover. And it's really good for if you're trying to build a brand, or even if you're trying to invent a new product or a new technology. And what's really cool about this book and special is it really helps you identify where in the process you are with your business. Because it's important to know where you are in your market, where you are as far as where your brand is, brand development, your position in the industry that you're serving, when you should execute certain things, when it's a good idea to start looking for people to partner up with, when it's a good idea to invest, when it's a good idea to do rapid marketing, when it's too soon to do rapid marketing. It really breaks down steps. Again, it's just a guide. You don't have to follow it exactly, but it puts into perspective kind of where you are as far as how your business is growing and developing, and certain things and cues you should look out for with regards to what your next step should be with your business, or if you should backtrack and focus on some other things. So I think the book's like 20 bucks on Amazon or other websites. It's around $20. You can Google it, Business Model Generation. Really fun to read. It's got tons of pictures, like I said. So if you guys like pictures and comic strips, this book is for you. And it's a great coffee table book as well, and conversation starter. So Business Model Generation is the recommended reading. And last week we did something for the first time, which was tip of the week. Pat, I'm going to pass it over to you, and we can talk about the tip of the week, and then we'll also use this tip to kind of evaluate and analyze some of your websites here in the audience today.
Jason, thank you very much. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm very excited to talk about today's tip of the week. And of course, as we did last week, the goal is at the end of all of this, we're going to pass it over to you, and we're going to visit some of your websites, and we're going to try to apply some of these best practices that we're discussing on your website. So that should be very helpful and always my favorite part of this particular segment. So basically, one of the biggest decisions you have to make is not even decisions, things you have to figure out is understanding who you should be targeting. There's multiple people that your website caters to, and what we're going to try to do today is we're going to try to identify segments of people that you may not have even considered are an important part of the formula to getting your website to where you want it to go. So one of the common misconceptions, and probably the most common misconception, is that the audience that you need to focus on are the professional members looking to join your website. I see this all too often. I go to someone's website and I say, wow, this website's doing a fantastic job at getting members to sign up. Sign up here, join here, here's what you get if you sign up, here's all the things that we're going to give you for free, increase your sales. But lost in all of that message are other audiences that are just as important, if not more important. We're going to take a look at those other audiences as well and how those can help you lead to, of course, we understand you want the members to be paying to be on your site. You want them to sign up eventually. We'll explain to you how those other audiences will help you reach your goals. All right, so how do we increase that size? CATS, the Core Audience Targeting System. So there's something to help you remember this important system. Basically, what you want to do is you want to provide, you want to target audiences that provide mutually beneficial incentives to one another through your websites. And these can be professionals that are looking to promote their services. This could be the consumers that are looking for the products or services on your website, or advertisers who want to reach consumers. We're actually going to use one of my websites that I have. And it's a directory for moms and parents. And we're going to use my real life website. And Jason's going to put me through and ask me questions here in terms of how I applied CATS for my particular site, some of the struggles that we identified early on, and how applying these strategies really helped us break through. And now the businesses are coming to us. And we're going to give you guys some live examples as well. So with CATS, with a directory for moms and parents, I was able to identify who the professionals were. This is, again, what everybody does a great job of. The professionals are the people looking to sell products or services or venues for the parents. So we have lots of different categories for members, such as places to have birthday parties. We even have pediatricians. We have a health category. So we did it the traditional way that we see most people do it. So we really focused on attracting professionals to the site. What we found, though, by ignoring the other two audiences, and putting all of our eggs in the professionals basket, when we would contact them or when have them on the phone or we'd visit their actual offices and we presented our directory to them, we weren't getting any interest from them, even if we were offering them a free trial, even if we were giving them a great deal, even if we told them we we're going to help them with their marketing, because they were having trouble identifying the value of joining our directory. Because there wasn't what they cared about most, and what they cared about most was the second audience, which are the consumers. These are the people that are seeking parent-related services and products. In this case, mothers specifically. They wanted to see that we actually had a captive audience. They wanted to see that we can prove to them that if they did sign up with our site, that it would lead to more business for their particular businesses. So that was very, very important. And before we even got to the professionals, we actually started focusing on the third group of audiences, which are the advertisers, people who want parents to see their brands. So we thought that the professionals was going to be the first thing we targeted. We found out that we were going to target the consumers first was the right strategy. Then the advertisers came, and those were easier sells for us to do. And we even started building relationships with non-competing websites and businesses. So we started having contests on our website, and we're going to show you all this on our site here in just a moment. But we started having contests, having mothers submit stories about their parenting tips, either funny stories or difficult times that they went through. And we had these non-competing businesses sponsor these contests, and we're able to give out prizes. We actually have one running right now, so we'll be able to show you one that's in action and how we set all that up. And now that we have the consumers and we have the advertisers and we have non-competing websites being part of our brand, businesses are starting to come to us. And we're even in talks with some bigger ticket items like website sponsorship deals where they sponsor the entire website for a much larger figure than these individual membership fees that we could charge for. And of course, you can also leverage the membership fees as well. But we're finding it's opening up a lot more doors by identifying the proper audiences and doing a good job of bringing them in rather than just the members.
Can you share your screen, Pat, and kind of show us where you were with just targeting the professionals and how you shifted to targeting consumers and advertisers and how that's worked out for you?
So what would I show for how we were, like show a typical site or show them what we focused on beforehand?
Yeah, we could just take a look at your site now and you can kind of tell us how it's morphed a little bit. And actually we kind of did this last week. I forgot his name, but there was a gentleman, he was targeting a specific location. It was a directory for a certain locale, and we identified that he's not a directory website for a certain location, he's a travel website. And we realized that there's this huge consumer market and all sorts of content that he could start publishing that would relate better to the consumer rather than the professional, and then the professionals would follow. So let me pass the controls to you, Patrick, here, and we'll just quickly take a look at your site, and then we'll take a look at someone's site in the audience here.
Okay, great. So what we did initially is we focused on the directory portion of our website. We said, okay, we're going to list businesses. We're going to add them, get them to claim the listings, and we're going to start sharing social media posts letting moms know that they can find accessories or they can find clothing stores or they can find other businesses. So we followed best practices. We made sure that all the profiles were complete. We added content on all the profiles. We wanted to make sure that the user experience was a positive one for the moms. We didn't want any empty profiles or any icons. And we started contacting the businesses, and some of them were signing up and claiming their listings, others weren't. And it was generating leads for our website, but we were having trouble monetizing the site. We were having trouble getting the bigger ticket items that we wanted instead of just the $20 membership fees. It was with the amount of people working on this project, it was making it difficult to sustain. And really the interest levels, the bounce rate was through the roof. So we were driving traffic to the site, and the moms were leaving instantly because we'd say, hey, you can find clothing stores here, and maybe we can get them to come here. But when they realized, oh, it's just a directory, sometimes they would leave right away. So we were having trouble engaging our audience, the second audience, which are the consumers. So we really had to have an about face and say, okay, if we put ourselves in their shoes, would you be excited with just this, just the directory side of it, or do you need to be adding additional value to the site for our particular demographic, the mothers? So then what we decided to do is we said, okay, we're going to start creating captivating content, and we're going to convert our website from a directory to a magazine. So we're going to focus 100% on articles. So this is our homepage. You can see there's still a directory element to it, but it's definitely not a directory website. Although you're able to search by categories, businesses are still showing up in search results, but the directory itself is not the core element of the website. So we started driving these quality articles so that when we posted on our Facebook page and we shared articles, that we would get lots of engagements. This is actually a low week for us, over 10,000 post reach. We usually have a lot more than that. And every time we share these quality articles, then you'll see that this is a promotion that we have right now that we're running, so we can check that out. So we spent 300 colones, which is the equivalent of 50 cents, and we've had 98 website clicks. So for 50 cents, we've had 98 mothers come to the website. And these are metrics that we're able to show our advertisers. When they meet with us, we show them the insights, reporting on Facebook. We go to the posts themselves, and we're able to show them consistently that we're reaching in the thousands of people every time we have a post, and they love these things.
So let me stop you. So let me stop you right there, Pat. So you decided to, instead of hard targeting the businesses, that you would start attracting consumers and with articles. And each article you wrote was essentially a social media post that you could start promoting.
Correctly. So correct. So we would write the article on the website, and then we would go to social media, we would share the article, and as you can see, this one here has over 1,700 engagements, which is incredible. We had a huge spike in traffic.
So when you post something on Facebook, it tells you how many people saw that post or clicked on that post or shared that post?
That's correct. Okay. That's correct. So you're able to get those metrics.
And then what you're saying is when you were going after advertisers, you had to show them something concrete of why they should advertise with you. And these are the stats that you use to get the advertisers interested in working with you.
Correct. This is one of the two that they care about, and the other one that they care about is the people. They love this. So I'm 100% women. So that's fantastic. And the age demographic advertisers are interested in as well as where they're located. So we're a magazine for moms in Costa Rica. They can see that almost all of our fans are in Costa Rica, they're all women.
Those are people that liked your company page on Facebook.
Correct. So those are people that are exactly that's part of our reach. And this particular demographic for the type of advertiser we go after, they really want to target that 25 to 34 because they're the ones that have a little bit of money to spend and buy products, but they haven't committed fully to the brand.
I'll tell you something that I think would be a real value to everyone in the audience here is, okay, you can write the articles. I got that. You can post the article on your social media. Now you're generating stats on your Facebook page and your article sharing. How do you reach out to an advertiser? Do you call them? Do you send them an email? What's your strategy for actually reaching out to an advertiser who's going to give you money to have visibility on your website now?
So we have two. Before I got to the advertisers, I took another step, which is that bonus that we looked at, the fourth audience, the mutually beneficial companies. So if we look at one of these posts, for example, I went to the inbox, my apologies. I'm going to get to that, Jason. I'll just show you our strategy. So we'll go ahead and click on this article right here. So moms come to the website, and what's important is once you have them on the content, what are you offering them? So we really love these inline links.
What does that say? Because I know this is a Spanish blog, but what does that say?
It says to be a part of this community of mothers, click here and contribute an article. So once they click on that link, then they're taken to a landing page that basically tells them, hey, you can help this community of moms, share your story with others. We'd love to hear what tips or what experiences you have. They just fill out a form in order to start contributing. And then we have a contest. So these are different sponsors. So this is a restaurant chain in the country, and this is a bowling alley. And we outline what the prizes are. So by doing this, it's a lot easier to get people to sponsor, give you prizes, and sponsor a contest than it is to get them to sponsor your website, because now they're spending money instead of giving away their services. But what's happening now is that we have multiple contests. We're able to tell the other advertisers that we're going after, the ones that can actually give us money, we can show them we've worked with all these different brands. We also worked with spas, and we've done spa getaways. So our arsenal of companies that we've worked with grows here in the country. So when you go and approach those advertisers and you tell them we've already worked with Mantras, we've already worked with Mioderma Spa, we've already worked with Boliche Dent, would you like to work with us as well? And then we segue into the audience, who the audience is, and what it is we have to offer.
So I think what would be good, we can go to the attendees. I think next here is, I think what would be good, Pat, is maybe in the next couple weeks we collaborated together and maybe wrote a blog post on actually how someone can reach out to a potential sponsor or advertiser, what they should have prepared at the minimum to engage a potential sponsor and advertiser, and actually what you should say, maybe like a short script that could be modified according to the industry. I think we can do something like that probably in the next 30 days, Pat. We can put together a nice article together.
And that'd be great. And then that is focusing that second and third audience group that we're discussing. I definitely would love to do that. And as long as you have something to show an advertiser, that's basically the time that you should be engaging them. And yeah, let's maybe turn our attention to some other websites and try to identify some opportunities for them to set something similar up for their websites.
Awesome. I think what you've done is not only great, but it's a great example to show. So what we want to do is pass it over to you guys. If you want to share your site, we can unmute your microphone and kind of identify some audiences that you might be missing out on, or how you can attract the type of audience you're trying to reach. So we'll dive into Karen here. Let's see. Karen, you there?
Hi, which Karen?
We got one. There's only one Karen here. Yeah.
That's okay.
No, do you want us to share? You want to share your site with us and we can take a look at it together?
Sure. It's totally brand new. So it's canadagirlsnightout.ca.
Totally brand new site. All right.
Yeah, we have a lot to do. So.
Okay, let me go to the home page.
Yep.
Okay. Pat, I'm going to bring you in on this one. How has the site been doing so far? How have you? Obviously, you're targeting women. It's Girls Night Out site.
Yeah. So what happens is every time we are hosting events, we have 7 events hosted in the first week of December. So wherever an event is located, the members have to join. So they're going to have to automatically. So you'll see our membership really go up over the next few weeks. We have a Canada-wide launch that we're doing.
Okay.
And we have no free memberships, you can see.
Okay.
We had a domain issue, so that was our problem. We used another server, so it's not the actual site. And it's starting to come. I expect maybe within 3 months about 2,000 members.
Subscribe members. Okay, amazing.
Yeah. So, and we're opening the U.S. on December 5th with you, like the same, but it's going to be American Girls Night Out. So I tried Zodabox with it. So that's what you're seeing there.
Okay, this is a way to capture names and emails here.
Yes, right on the top.
Gotcha. Is that on every page of your site?
No.
No, just the home page. Okay. And
because I put it in.
so what kind of, so this is great. So you're targeting women, and this seems more like a professional organization because you're asking them if they have a business or if they're self-employed. So there's opportunities for networking here.
Yes, it's huge networking.
Okay, it's not for partying and going out to clubs, and
that's okay.
Is part of it?
No, it's not. No partying whatsoever. It's a women's, yeah. So it's a women's network, and we had started Girls Night Out. We called it that for professional women. So women in business. We had started it like a year ago. We hold meet and greets and network events.
I totally get it. Gotcha. Okay.
So we kept it as Girls Night Out, although some people have thought. You know.
I totally get. Well, that was a little lost to me right away initially. I do understand the referral networks and when they're for specific demographics, whether it's for male or female or certain age groups. I get contacted a lot to join like entrepreneurs under 40 and stuff like that. So I think, and I'm reverting to this more and more and more.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the one thing you can do is having articles on your homepage rather than searching for members right away.
I love the article part. Love it. That's going in this week.
And then we do have the featured article slider. I'll show you kind of what that looks like. We just launched a new theme that people can choose.
Okay.
It's basically just showcasing the articles on the homepage. So right. What it does is it starts.
I love.
Yeah, you can match your colors, obviously. What's really cool about this article slider, and we've talked about this in many webinars, is you choose the articles that go here. So whether it's information about how to join your organization or what it's all about, you can always have it featured here. If it's an upcoming event that you want to promote right on your homepage, it's great to have it here. And of course, you get
right.
you get a nice title here as well, where you can say exactly what your organization does, so you can have an instant connection with website visitors when they come to your site.
Yeah, we just yesterday got picked up by probably 6 huge different Canadian organizations that are going to feature us and advertise with us. Perfect. So called Yellow Brick House. So it's all going to start to grow, but I do know I'm in the, and I did have an audit. Do you know when you book the audit?
Yeah, it looks like a lot's been done on the site, really well actually.
We have lots of leaders that are happening, and they're part of our affiliate across Canada. We have you can see our featured Canadian company, and we'll have more companies.
This is fantastic. I mean, this is kind of following Pat's model. It sounds like you have a strategy for getting a member base into your organization, but then you're also you're using keywords like affiliates, sponsors, featured companies, and you're creating good alliances with these different people who are not necessarily, it's business directory members. These are other types of audiences that you're capturing to participate with you on this journey.
Yeah, I have one question though, because when we try to say events, if I wanted people, say, to pay for my events, is there a way of putting it into the directory?
Yes.
Where, see these? Because otherwise it comes up yearly or monthly, and I'm having issues with it right now. So
yes. So what you can do, a lot of people say, well, how can I generate revenue from posting events? So let me show you exactly how you can do that right now. So let's just take this event as an example.
Right. Yeah.
And what you can do is, in the finance tab, we have manage products, and this used to be called membership levels, and it was in the members tab. But what we realized is you don't have to just create membership levels with the Brilliant Directories platform. And
yeah, I've been trying to, but I know I've been making an error.
You can create products, and I think you've already done it. So we can create a product called event, and then I'll just, let me just copy this. Whoops, that's not what I want. I want this. All right, let's copy this and paste it here. And how much would this event be, just as an example?
$30.
Okay, so $30, and anyone who, what you want to do is, because there are options for this membership, people who sign up to this to have actual business listings.
No, I want them to it. That's the part where I was.
Right. So this is where you would say listing searchable on website. Basically, anyone who's buying this product, you want to make sure it's set to no. And so that way they won't be searchable like a regular member. Now it's just like a digital product that you're selling.
Yeah.
Also, you can have them.
Oh, sorry.
You can have them redirected to thank you page as well after they purchase it, which is great. So they don't go to their member dashboard. They just go to, so you can create a landing page specifically and redirect them there, which is very helpful.
That works out perfect, because that's the problem. A lot of them are confused, because say if they already have memberships.
Right.
And then it's asking them for another email. So I almost wondered if there was a way of just creating like a simple product, but linking it to our gateway.
Well, here's what you also can do is any one of the products you create, you know,
Right.
has its own sign up page. So let me just go to this sign up page, for example. I'll copy the link here. Let me copy link.
Okay.
And what you can do is for the event, instead of the more details, what you can you can do is put the link to purchase and change more details to purchase ticket or something like that.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
And then that way this will take them to where they can purchase the ticket.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think you're doing a good job. My only recommendation would be, and it sounds like you're making tremendous traction, is right on your homepage, and I know you're still working on it. I didn't fully understand what the concept was, and I totally get it now. So maybe with your logo or a slogan, or instead of search the online directory, is join our Canadian Women's Business Referral Network or something like that.
Okay, perfect.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Karen.
So much.
Looks great.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a look at someone else's site. Thank you, Karen, for sharing your site with us. It looks like you're making great traction there. Let's take one more website example, and then we'll get into the regular Q&A for the webinar. And Jake, I've unmuted your microphone, Jake.
Hi, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's your site? Where are you calling in from, by the way?
Tacoma, Washington, just south of Seattle.
Okay, great. Thanks for joining us today. Yeah, we're happy to take a look at your site right now.
Yeah, it's retreatguide.com. The site's been a Brilliant Directories site for going on a year, I think, a little less than a year. The site's been around since the mid to late 90s. And it was a faith-based website for quite some time. And I've since converted it more to a more general retreat guide site that has everything from yoga retreats to personal retreats, spiritual retreats, all that kind of thing. The idea is not only to attract retreat and conference centers, not only across the US, but across the world, but then also to give the ability for users to find a retreat either in the area or in a niche that they're interested in. Say that's a sports retreat or a yoga retreat or something like that.
Off the top of my head, I just have an idea and I'll share it with you. I actually learned this at the inbound conference, and it's a little bit of a trick, but it increases conversions. So I'm assuming your primary goal on this website is to have people that might be interested in attending a retreat to give you their contact information or contact a member. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that would probably be correct. I don't want to be involved in the contacting of members. So the idea would be that the consumer is contacting the business directly, and I'm out of that connection, but I'm giving them the platform to be able to do that.
Great. So a good trick is, and actually, again, I learned this at the inbound conference by HubSpot a few months ago, and they say if you give a tool, consumers love tools. Maybe they're not too, like myself, I'm not too sure which retreat is right for me. I've never been to a retreat, so I'm not too sure. So if you repurpose that get match page that we just shared, and you offered some sort of a tool that, hey, tell us what your interests are, or tell us where your stress is coming from, or tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll tell you the right retreat for your particular interest. Sure. So you'll do that, and that would funnel into your lead engine. So you'd be capturing their location, you'd be capturing their interests, you'd use your category structure. You're just branding it differently. So instead of telling me that I'm not familiar with guides, hey, find the retreat, it's on you, Patrick. what kind of retreat are you looking for? Well, I don't know what kind of retreat, because this is a keyword search on your homepage. So I have no idea what to type. I'm probably going to leave. But if you brand it as some sort of tool that some sort of retreat, recommend which retreat is right for you. Answer these 6 simple questions, and we'll tell you the retreat that'll cure your stress, or whatever it is that the goals are of the retreats.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with Pat on that. I'm seeing this as an event site. A retreat is basically an event. It could be a single day or multi-day event, and what you're doing is you're helping people build their tribes, and connecting them with these retreats. I think because you're starting out, you don't have, you're creating a marketplace of retreats versus people looking for retreats. And the people who are looking for retreats, you're trying to make an emotional connection with them, that your website is their happy place to go to for things related to retreats. Most of these retreats are for positive, building and things like that. They could be for other things, but generally retreats are for, bettering yourself internally and whatever you're trying to overcome.
Right.
I am thinking, so I mean, I'd switch away from the searching on the homepage, and I would do one of 2 things. I would do something like this alumni theme, and you can talk about, you can focus certain types of content here about why it could be upcoming retreats or featuring retreats, or how your website works. These don't have to be necessarily blog articles. They can take people to informational resource pages about how your website works. Or what I like is, again, on what we've done on this demo site, and we've recommended this in a lot of webinars, are the 2 buttons where it says something about find a retreat to help you spiritually grow. And then it could say, join our retreat network or something like that, or promote your next retreat. And now you're targeting the people who need to promote their retreats and people who want to find retreats. And you'll probably get more people registering for one of those 2 things, rather than getting stuck here, not even knowing I wouldn't even know what to search for here. Maybe yoga, but an open keyword, and obviously you have some here. An open keyword might leave people stuck if they're searching things that aren't in your website. They're just going to come up blank. Maybe there's a retreat for plumbers on how to market their businesses better, things like that. But I would recommend something like the alumni theme, where you're featuring content, or the 2 buttons here for the interior design, and take people down 2 different paths.
Yeah. Okay.
And also, if we go back to the original recommendations I made, what I did for my website and what I've done for other sites, when I'm looking at this site, I'm thinking, like Jason said, the most engaging content are the actual retreats themselves. So 1, I wouldn't call it events, I'd call it retreats.
Right.
2, if you really focus on, can you go ahead and click on that? I want to see what we have there if I click on the events.
Oh, there's nothing. There's not one event.
So what I did with the directory for moms and dads, and I understand it's not a get rich quick scheme, right? It's not like I turned on my website and people started flocking to the website, but I started adding the content that my demographic would be interested in. In this case, when we're talking about the audience, that second audience, that critical audience, which is the consumer is going to want to look at retreats and retreat ideas. That's what they care about. So your entire focus should be on, and even though it's a manual process, should be for you to start adding retreats like crazy. There should be hundreds of retreats. And on social media, you should be highlighting a different retreat every day. And you should be trying to promote a Facebook audience of people that like retreats. And you should be able to go after lookalike audiences. So that people that are yoga fans, they're going to like your page. They're going to like that retreat. They're going to say, wow, there's all this information on retreats. The content that's going to engage your audience is the retreat. It's not the coupons. It's not the blog. It's not the members. It's going to be the retreat themselves. And the more original you get, the better. And then eventually, once you have that social media page, you have the insights to show, you have the content on your site, next thing you know, you can start partnering up with companies, just like we talked about. You say, hey, I have this audience. Here's our demographic. Here's the type of content. And then guess what's going to happen? People that have retreats are going to start knocking on your door. And they're going to say, I want my retreat to be on Retreat Guide. It kind of has to go in that order rather than you trying to get the businesses to sign up from scratch. That's going to be a much slower pace of growth, I personally believe. Of course, it depends on a lot of factors, but I think that's usually the case.
Okay.
And some easy article topics for you if you wanted to showcase articles on your homepage. Top 5 yoga retreats, and you create an article, and in the article you link to their listings on your directory. So now and then the different types of top 5 Christian retreats. You said you wanted to do religious or whatever it might be. Just start with like top 10 lists here, and this can be the guide for people. Take them to an article, and then in the article it talks a little bit about the retreat and links them to the listing page on your own website. So that's really good internal linking as well for search engine optimization.
Right. Correct. A top 5 per city base, perhaps, with very large areas. And you can then, if you have a top 5 section and you write the articles, it's easy to contact those retreats and let them know, hey, let your people know, put it on your website, share it on your social media page, let them know that your retreat was voted as one of the top 5 retreats in your area for your particular category, and give them a badge if they like with top 5 with your logo that embeds them to that article. There's a lot. You could even give them a badge on their membership level, because you can add a badge with Brilliant Directories by default, so their listing has a badge that says top 5. Those are all different marketing ideas that you can leverage. But again, what's important with this strategy is that the consumer, they're going to love this content. They're going to love that you went through the work and you went through the steps needed to compile these lists. So they're going to engage with your content. These other companies are going to share your content. You're going to be able to build up partnerships, and telling a business that they made your top 5 list is going to be an easy way to start a conversation and hopefully help promote that retreat for them, and they can possibly purchase some of your packages.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Personally, I love this concept. I think it's great, and I see super potential here and a wide market for you to go after. So I think you're on the right track here if you just focus on the audience that you need to target first.
Okay. Yeah, I've been having about 300 visits a month, and it's just not getting the traction that I had hoped. But I think with some of your suggestions here and kind of reframing how consumers are seeing the website and focusing more on the consumer than on the end advertiser, I think you're right. The blog portion is kind of doing that, but it's not front and center, and it's not calling 8 reasons why you should plan a retreat, what to expect during a religious retreat, or the ultimate guide to planning a spiritual retreat. Those kind of things. I think maybe we should move more towards the consumer side and the facing part of the website rather than just kind of buried in the blog.
Yep. If you click on one of those articles, Jason.
Sure.
Now, I love these articles. The article subject lines are fantastic, by the way. I imagine if you were to advertise on social media, it would do very good.
Yep.
What's important is before you invest money in marketing, it's important that you have a mechanism in place to capture that lead. Okay, you got them here. Now what, right? So if there's not a clear action, like us, and my example was for the moms to join the contest and become a writer and a contributor, and we're getting the content taken care of by the moms. We don't pay them, and we're getting an engaged community. So it'd be important if the articles look absolutely top quality. It's just important that you also add what is the goal of the traffic that I'm driving here, and making that easy to capture the email, easy to get them to purchase something, add an affiliate link. There's multiple different options, but here it just dies off, and there's really nothing for, if I read that article on my phone and I got to the end, I'd say, well, I guess that's the end of this website experience, because people that go to articles from social media, they don't know your website, they don't know your brand. So at the end of that, if they don't have something else to do, then it's difficult. Jason, I think on our blog we have our newsletter sign up, if I'm correct. I'm not sure what we do on Brilliant Directories, but I believe that's what we have.
I think we may
on ours.
If you put the newsletter sign up as the first thing in the sidebar after the article, that's what it'll show. Let's see what we have here. Mm-hmm. If you come down, right, we have this capture here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you have a great concept. It's related to lifestyle, and lifestyle does very well, especially on Instagram and social media. So I think if you just reframe the purpose of your website to be a lifestyle, and then the directory of retreats and the actual retreat events secondary. The first would be, I guess, the actual retreats. I take that back. The events as well as consumer friendly articles, and then the second would be like the companies that are planning these, the directory of the companies that are planning those retreats. So they continue to post their retreats on your website, but you can post the events yourself. All you have to do is go out there, and you're already doing it. You had a blog post that linked to this glamping experience and this SkyTing yoga. You can just just add this content yourself to the website. You're already putting it in the blog post. And then reach out to these companies and let them know that you featured them, just like Pat said, as the top ranked glamping retreat and so on.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah, and we have about 5,000 followers on our Instagram profile right now. So I mean, we have a little bit of traction, but I think these things will really help.
Great.
So,
great.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing your site with us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Good stuff there. We went a little deep into those sites, and I guess what we'll do is we'll change gears a little bit. We'll go back to our regular webinar Wednesdays, and we'll just answer any questions you might have about your Brilliant Directories website and how we can help.
Yeah, and I'd also love to hear feedback on what you guys think about this new format, that we have a more structured beginning, and we go over some sites and do some live site examples and go a little bit deeper on topics. I know last time I believe we did the same, and it was very successful, but we'd love your feedback on it, if we should continue it, and yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
All right. I'm going to unmute Nora. Nora, I've unmuted your microphone.
Oh, how y'all doing?
Hi, did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yeah, it's Nawara.
Nawara, excuse me. Where are you calling in from, Nawara?
I'm calling in from Lake Charles, Louisiana.
All right. Thank you for joining us. And what's your question for us today?
The question was like on the young lady that had the ladies in Canada, when you was telling her that she could take an event and use that to send it out to get payment for that event.
Yes.
Well, couldn't she use out the already existing payment portal that's built into the system to take the payments?
Yeah. So what you can do is, and I'm not going to actually post it here, but if you go to your product and you take the link, so you can copy the sign up link, and you can then promote this link in an email. You can create a landing page for it, and then if anyone clicks on this link, it will take them to the page where they can purchase the product, whether it's a one-time payment. What I was saying before is, and I'll go here to our demo site. When you're looking at a specific event that you're promoting on your website, you are able to add an external link where you can get more details. But instead of putting a link where you get more details, you can put the link to the buy page. And you can change this from saying more details to buy a ticket now or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So instead of putting a link to whatever website, just put a link to your buy page.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? That's a quick one. Oh, you got it? All right. Thank you, Nora. Thanks for joining us. Good question there about how to sell tickets. All right. Wilf, I've unmuted your microphone, or I'm attempting to. You with us, Wilf?
Yeah, I'm still here, actually. Great. Thank you. Wonderful webinar. Lots of great information. I wanted to ask a little bit about website features, and I'm just asking you to speak from a high level, not on a granular basis, but a lot of the features seem to have the exact same functionality. So I was just wondering if you could maybe speak to the differences, and then specifically what I'm looking to do is to set up let's call it a gated content site for videos that would be available to paying members, and we would like either a snippet of that video to play from the home page, but then if somebody were to, say, click the snippet, then it would go to a login page that, this is member content only.
Okay.
So
The snippet thing, where it plays for a little bit of time, that wouldn't be default functionality. That would be something of a customization. But let's check out your site, and let me kind of show you how you can create a gated members-only page for videos, at least.
Sure. Okay. Well, there's two sites. One is iTrain Hockey.
Okay.
And that's just on the directory up server right now.
All right. So let's go check out the site real quick, and then so let's go to the different types of content that you're able to publish. So at the core, what Brilliant Directories is really good at is it's a content publishing powerhouse. And we've created some preset types of content such as real estate properties, products, job listings. And you're absolutely right. There's really nothing different about them except the questions you're being asked when you're creating a coupon or you're creating a classified. What we've done is, and some people clone these features and then add different questions for different types of content. What's really cool is with Brilliant Directories is it allows you to isolate different types of content. So with WordPress, really you can just choose what category a blog post belongs to, but you can't really post a coupon compared to a blog post besides putting it in the coupons category. You'd have to do some deep customization in order to achieve that. So what we've done here is we've kind of done the heavy lifting for you, and we've already created what we think are the most popular types of content people want to publish. And when you're creating a property listing, all that you're doing is you're answering a set of questions that make that a property listing, like how many bedrooms and how many baths. You're not going to get that question when you're posting a coupon. So with regards to the different types
so that just to make sure I'm understanding, so really the difference occurs in, let's say, the details form for that particular feature.
Exactly.
I have a little something extra to add on top of that, Jason, if you don't mind going to the demo website. When I'm looking to choose, right now I see what you're doing. Well, if you're repurposing features in Brilliant Directories for new features, it's exactly what you should be doing. And you're trying to identify which of these features should I even be repurposing for my video, for these tips, let's say, right? So
Precisely.
how I decide which feature I use is based on the search filter, the search module. So if you can go to the properties website, Jason, real quick.
That's what I opened up. We're on the same
You're
page.
the man.
Yeah.
So let's say I want to have a dating website, and I wanted to have simple profiles, but they would create their dating profile separately, and I wanted people to be able to search by their height and their eye color and their interests. I would probably use this particular one. So I would use the bedrooms as maybe their height, and the bedroom and the bathrooms would be their eye colors, and if it's superficial search, of course. That's an example of me saying I want to have more filters in my particular search. So this would be a good fit. The events feature, you're able to search by date. That's the core element of the events feature. So there's a start date and an end date, and people can search by date range. So if you clone the events feature, it's because the date matters. So online courses, maybe there's a start date. I have a TOEFL course. We do certification courses. This is the one I clone for TOEFL courses because all my courses, I have 10 courses a year with clear start date and end dates. That's how I knew this is the right one. If people are going to filter by price, then you're probably going to want to have the products feature, because if you go to the products theme, you're going to see the products theme has a filter based on price. So when I try to decide which is the right feature for me, I actually come to this site, I check out all the search modules, and I see which one gets the closest to what I need my particular custom feature to be.
One more thing, Pat, about repurposing a feature. So sure, we have events, and then we have the real estate theme. The real estate theme has something called open houses. And actually, open houses are just events that we renamed as open houses. There's really nothing different between an open house and an event. We just changed the word event to open houses, and we've repurposed the events publishing tool for open houses without doing anything really special.
Because an open house
Because
is an
searching
event.
by date is what matters.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And an open house is an event. Exactly. So let me show you how you can make one of your features members only. So let me see if you've published any content on this site yet. It looks like you have a hockey event here. Okay, it's a test event. That's fine. And let's actually go ahead and view this event. And let's go to the search results page. And oh, I think it's not published yet. Let's see here. It is published. Oh, I think it's already passed. That's why it's not showing on the site. The date has already passed. Let's look at your blog article. Let's just look at the live page. I'm going to show you right now how to make this a members only content. So here's a sample blog article. Let's go to the search results page for the blog article. So here's your website blog. Here's the read more button. So we're going to make your website blog members only. The way to do that, and this works with all the features, is first find the type of post that you want to make like premium content. You can click on edit, and in the general settings tab for this type of post, you can scroll down, and there is an option here, can anyone view these posts? And what you want to do is set this to no. And I'm going to save the changes. And now this is not going to be public content. Let me refresh the page. Now I see a message that says this content is for members only. So now, how can you decide who gets to view this content? Well, the second part to this, Wilf, is what you want to do is go to your different membership levels. We'll go to Finance, Manage Products. And you have one member. Let's see who you have a member. Okay, you have one ITH Pro member. What I'm going to do is edit this member. And so now the ITH Pro members, I'm going to go to Post Publishing. And a lot of you have noticed where it says Can Post, Can View. Can View doesn't matter if everyone can view the content. So if everyone can view that kind of content, this doesn't even matter if it's checked or not checked. Only when it's private premium content. So we want to make sure that the Can View is checked. That way this membership level can view blog posts. In your case, you're going to want to set it to the premium videos or whatever videos that you're going to be publishing. So if I save the changes, it was already saved like that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to log in as one of your ITH Pro members. So I'm going to go here, and Billy Bastard, good name, and we're going to log in as member. So now I'm logged into the website as this member. If I come back to the page to view blogs and I reset the page, I should have access, and here it is now because I am logged in as Billy. So that
Bastard.
Bastard, excuse me.
Bastard.
It's a different emphasis. All
Yeah,
right.
you have to say it with a French accent.
Okay. So
okay.
I apologize.
No, it's okay.
So that's how you can create premium content.
Okay, so that's fantastic. So the next part of the question, and maybe you can just answer this and let me know if this is a customization or if there's a workaround. And if you could go to the home page for the website.
Okay, let me make your blog post public again, so they're not limited. Okay, let's go to your home page. Is this a hockey website? Yeah, it is. Okay.
Yeah. So the scenario here, this is the gentleman you'll see on the front of the site. He runs a hockey school in a local area, and he does camps locally, but he'll also do camps globally. He goes to China, for example. But what he would like to be able to do, because he has a global following, is to add his video tutorials on a paid membership basis. So what he's trying to do on the home page is to style it so that it doesn't look like a standard Brilliant Directories page, for example, but there would just be a main banner, then a video banner, or a banner describing what the video options are, and then 4, I'm going to call them widgets at the bottom, 2 rows of 2 columns, and each one of those would be a different content. So one would be like for see our featured videos. One would be hire Sean for you know, a global camp, or whatever the case may be.
Okay. What you can do is you can definitely add those custom widgets with the banners and whatnot. What you can do is you could have the videos streaming on the homepage, and if anyone tried to go to watch the video, they would get that message that says, "This is members only content, please join or log in." It wouldn't be a pop-up. They would actually be sent to the page, and instead of, like we're seeing this event here, or this job posting, instead of seeing the content that they want to see, they're going to be prompted to join or log in if they're not logged in yet. So that would be the default functionality that you.
Yeah, I'm personally a fan, and I know we've already looked at it, and that's the code I said I would send. But I'm a big fan, if you're doing members only content, that if they click on the link, that you take them to a landing page. Don't give them the message they need to upgrade. They don't get the benefits. The conversion rates are really low. If you take the time, if it's like, hey, book a hockey training with this guy, and I click on it, and I go to a splash page, and I talk, hey, this guy has trained these professionals, and he's done this, and here's a quick video of one of his trainings, which is that snippet you want, and click here. This is for premium members only. Log in if you're a premium member, or sign up if you're not. I find that those pages perform much, much better than just locking people out and asking them to upgrade right out of the gates.
Got it. That makes sense.
I agree. So you got a few options there your goal is to capture their email address at the end of the day. So you have a few different strategies to do that. You can just ask for them to register. You can suppress content and request that they register first. And I like Patrick's idea that if they're not logged in, they're taken to a free application page or registration page rather than just the message. The message is just something generic to get people started with a members only site. But you can customize that. You can redirect that however you want once you're in the code.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for the guidance.
All right, well,
appreciate it.
Sure thing. Good question there. Thank you. And I think that was good. It shows how you can kind of make your own members-only website and actually create sections of your site that have a premium content.
And repurpose features. We covered a lot on that one.
And repurposing features like events become open houses. Marcella, I've unmuted your microphone. How you doing today?
Good, thanks.
Where are you calling in from today?
I'm in Chile.
Chile, okay. What's your question for us today?
I'm actually calling, I'm a virtual assistant, and my boss is based in Atlanta.
Okay.
And I'm trying to develop a FAQ page for consumers. We have a pretty good page for members, but we're trying to target we want our consumers to have a reason to select our divorce professionals. We're a divorce networking place.
Okay. So you need the code to create a questions and answers page?
Correct.
Okay. Would something like this work for you?
Sorry.
So would something like this work where they can toggle and you can have a page with lots of questions and answers?
Yeah, that would be great. And can you insert profile links into those answers? Like at the end of the link, for more information, go to this particular divorce professional or this particular.
Let's do it on your site. What's your website name?
DivorcetownUSA.com.
All right. Let's check out the site. And what I'll do is I'll set up a page and a widget. And I'll just set up the structure for you. You'll need to go in there and add the questions and answers yourself, but I'll do it in a format that you can repeat. All right.
Okay, that's awesome.
So what I'm going
sorry.
Go ahead.
We actually have our members submitting what they think are their top 3 most frequently asked questions, so that we can kind of categorize these for your, like if you need a realtor, what is the top 3 things a divorcing person asks a realtor? If you're a family law attorney, what are the top 3 things maybe they should ask? Those kinds of things.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this up, and I'm going to make it really easy for you to identify. All you have to do, it is code here, but don't get too flustered. Let me just make it really easy for you. One moment.
And Jason, just a quick question. Why is it that you were able to go to just some random website and copy their code and be pretty confident it's going to work on Brilliant Directories?
The newer Brilliant Directory sites that are over a year old are built on the design platform called Bootstrap, and there are tons. And Bootstrap just means your site's going to look beautiful out of the box. All the code is going to look good on mobile devices, and all Bootstrap code is compatible on other Bootstrap sites. So there's tons of websites. All I did was Google Bootstrap FAQ, and I found like this snippet here. And so I'm copying the HTML, and I know that it's going to look like this when I'm done with it. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a widget for you called Consumer Questions. And just to make it easy for you, I'm going to just add some spaces here so that you'll know where it starts and stops. I'll add extra spaces just so you're clear on when things start and stop, where the questions sections start and stop. And what we're going to do is I'm going to save this widget to start, and then I'm going to add a link in one of them for you. The next thing we're going to do is, do you have a dedicated page for these consumer questions yet, or can I create one?
Not yet.
Okay, let me create one.
I was actually working on that while you were talking to the other person.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to call it consumer-FAQ. You can obviously change it. And
that's fine.
When you're doing with a lot of HTML code, the reason I didn't put it into the page, it's just easier to edit it in the widget. So I'm going to do widget equals and then the consumer questions. And what's the title? I'm just going to do consumer questions, and then whatever, you can put whatever title you want. I'm just going to put a nickname here. Do you want a sidebar on this page? Maybe a right sidebar would be nice. And we'll just do the post search results on the right. And I'm going to save the page. And let me view the page. I might need to refresh the cache. Nope. Here are the questions now. Let me fix this. This first question has like a link in it. And I need to contain this for you. Let me just do I'm doing some coding for you here, but I like doing that sometimes. So give me one moment. All right. Oh, sorry. I know what I need to get rid of is this. Okay. And let me fix this link here. And like at the end of each one of them, you said you want a link, kind of?
Well, I'm actually thinking rather than linking to a particular professional, we want to link maybe, I'm not sure how to do that yet.
Okay.
But I'm thinking about maybe, because I want them to go to that group. I'm not going to necessarily only promote, we have multiple family law attorneys, we have multiple realtors, we have multiple insurance agents. So I want them to be able to choose from those options, which one they would like to get more information from.
Okay, so I'm just adding a link at the bottom of all these. It just says this is a link to a page, and where the href is where you would put the link, where the hashtag is.
Okay.
Just place that, and let me save the changes. And hopefully I fixed this issue of going all the way to the edge. Nope. I'm going to try it one more time. I'm not going to, there we go. So now they're not going all the way to the edge. And there you go. And you can just have your questions listed here. What might be nice is if they were, if they were half each. So let me do one more thing for you to make it look nice, and I think you'll be on your way. I think we'll do MD6. So with Bootstrap, the reason everything lines up, it's column based. This is a little higher level, and there's 12 columns on a Bootstrap row. So when you define that it's going to be 6 columns, it means it's going to be half the width. So I think this should go right here, and we'll save that. We need one more refresh. Okay, maybe that wasn't the right thing to do. That kind of jacked it up, but let me undo that. We'll keep them the way I got it. I'm not gonna get too greedy here with my luck. So let me just save the, let me just stick with the question. I mean the link at the end of each one. So they will have I put a link here at the end of each one. It's in green. So we'll just keep full width for you. And then this is how you have an FAQ page. And you can add a paragraph above, like, use the questions below to guide you during your, so-and-so process. And then these are your questions, obviously. Okay.
And then that way, as they're searching for a keyword, these will pop up. Or am I going to have to add that section in here?
This is just a static page. This is just content. So there's no searching for this. This is just a regular static page. If you wanted to create a searchable content, what you can do is repurpose like one of the article features, like the blog articles features, and you can duplicate it and then call that questions or common questions, and then the title, and then you can have a title and you can have the answer to the question, and that would be an individual post. So that's where you would want to repurpose. If you want to make it searchable content, you could repurpose the blog articles and then just clone it, call it something else, change the URL, and now it can be consumer questions, and that can be searchable content.
Okay. That's good to know too. Awesome.
But if you want, just start with the static page, and you're ready to go with a consumer questions page.
Perfect.
All right.
That's a start. That gets it going, because this is something we've been kind of tossing around for a long time. So I'd like to have at least something up there.
Okay. And again, even if you didn't want to use this toggle code, you can just create a new web page and make the question in bold and the answer in regular text without making a widget. You just do it in the actual page editor. So that's another option too. All right. Okay. Good stuff. Thank you, Marcella.
Perfect.
All right. Good question there on how to add content to your page. And for those of you that joined a little late, we did have a easy contest of the week. Let me backtrack on the slides here. If you leave a comment on our YouTube channel, just go to brilliantdirectories.com/shoutout, and the video below, just write anything, maybe your favorite Brilliant Directories feature, what you like about the webinars. Everyone will receive a $50 credit that you can use towards add-ons, additional sites, the VIP add-ons club, and more. So you can go to brilliantdirectories.com/shoutout, and we do really appreciate when you guys do that. Thank you. All right. Barry, I've unmuted your microphone. Are you with us, Barry?
I am.
Where are you calling in from, Barry?
The UK.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for joining us so late.
Yeah, my question's about one of the add-ons.
Okay.
That you are a member of the add-ons club. It's the sitemap. Now, I've been in the process of adding content to the website, and obviously I now want to submit the sitemap to Google. That bit I'm familiar with, the Google bit, but obviously I want to make sure that I'm picking up all the members as I add them, and obviously the landing pages that I've created, the static pages.
You bring up a good point, actually, and I think we just talked about this, and I'm going to have to get back to you on this one. So the Sitemap Generator is awesome. It will build out all the pages for your members and your search results pages. I think the one thing it was missing was the static landing pages, besides the home page. Pat, do you offhand, I would have to get back to you, Barry. I'm pretty sure it does not include the static pages, which is an update we want to push, because someone did mention that to us a little earlier. Pat, do you know if the Sitemap Generator includes static web pages like the one we just made for Marcella?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
To my knowledge, it does include the static pages.
Okay. Okay, I'm thinking it doesn't, so I think we're 50-50. I'll take, I think Pat might know a little bit more than me on that, but maybe we can get back to you in the next webinar, Barry, or you can ask the question in the LinkedIn group, and we can respond to you there after the webinar.
The other part I was going to ask relating to the same plugin, if you like, because the website is going to be constantly updated, is there a way of scheduling the XML to be updated on a regular basis within the...
I believe that the priority is, it does do that. It does update it. Can we go to your site and actually check out what's your site?
Go to localphotographersvideographers.com.
Okay. Give me one.
You've done a bit of work on this one in the past.
So it's go to local
photographers.
Okay.
Videographers. The last entry of the sitemap generator clearly shows that it's generating for static pages as well, Jason.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, those of you that have the add-on, you'll see it here under your toolbox, Sitemap Generator. And there are some advanced controls here. So I guess you can manually choose to update your sitemap if there was something important that you wanted to push.
Go to the bottom, Jason, and you'll see the static pages one as well, I believe, here.
Static pages. Perfect. So I guess you can bulk update this yourself if there's something very pressing you want to add to your sitemap. The sitemap is just helpful for notifying Google of any new pages on your site. They'll eventually find them, but this kind of helps expedite that. I am not seeing a schedule. I know that it does update it periodically. I'm not off the top of my head knowing what that schedule is. But it does update automatically, and as well, Barry, you can come here if there's something pressing that you want to make sure Google captures. You can update your sitemap as well here.
Yeah, it would be just as a suggestion. Then, when it looks at updating, it might be a good idea to put because as members join, it would add them to it.
Right. Right.
On a weekly basis.
On a week, I do believe it is weekly off the top of my head. But again, if you want to ask that question in the LinkedIn group, I think that would be good general knowledge for even myself to have, because I'm not 100% on what the schedule is for updating the sitemap automatically.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Barry. Yeah, please ask that question in the LinkedIn group, and we'll be sure to answer that so everyone's on the same page with that.
Yeah, I'm a member of the LinkedIn group. Yep.
Awesome.
Thanks ever so much.
Thank you. Very good question. I think once we get the answer to that question, we should add it also to the page that talks about the Google Sitemap Generator, because that's good general knowledge to know about it. So thank you, Barry, for that suggestion. And Martin, I'm trying to unmute your mic. How you doing, Martin?
Okay, for the orthopedicsurgeonstoday.com website, you kind of touched on this earlier. And you guys said you're going to have a blog on it, but if you try doing LinkedIn or you try calling by the phone, doctors are busy. The people at the doctor's office are busy, so they're going to tell you, send me something. So the question is, what do you send them?
Gotcha. So that's a good point. Sometimes when you're trying to reach out to members to join your site, they're too busy or they're a super professional organization. What you might want is a one-pager about your site. Pat, can we switch screens? And remember that tool that you showed that lets you create like infographics? Let's see here. There are ways for you to easily create media kits or info packets. Sometimes industries need this. More professional industries might need more professional documentation to entice people to join. Let me see if I can find this here.
It's canva.com.
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 All right.
It's amazing. For infographics, especially presentations and so forth, it's very easy and illustrative to read.
I'm going to pass it over to you, Pat, because I know you have an account with them, and you can kind of show us how it works briefly. Is that okay?
Sure thing.
All right.
One second. Let me log in here. All right, there we go.
Oh, speaking of,
ready to go.
Before we go, share, if you notice on Canva's website, you can log in with Facebook or Google, and just so everyone knows, we do have the add-on. I think it's ready to release. It's just going through the documentation process. We also have the one-click social login add-on, which will allow people to register on your site using Facebook or Google, just like you're seeing here on canva.com. So really cool.
Speaking of the add-ons, you mentioned before, in order if you have some inactive add-ons when you have the package, how do you contact customer service to get them turned on?
So you can email add-ons at brilliantdirectories.com, and if you're supposed to have an add-on and it's not activated, or you want an add-on deactivated, just email add-ons at brilliantdirectories.com. No hyphen, no dashes, just add-ons, one word.
So I'm on canva.com. I just clicked on the infographic one in particular, and these have a lot of different layouts that you can choose from. Some of them have numbers, some of them have research. It's endless options in terms of the infographics that you can use. It's just a matter of finding one you like. So for example, and I know it's not maybe the most honest approach to take, but I like to find one that has numbers on it, and I just repurpose them for whatever data and statistics I want to basically tell the doctors, like, hey, people that have signed up for us have seen an increase of this much percentage, we were able to generate this many leads. So you just repurpose a pre-existing infographic for your particular niche in industry. The nice thing is you don't have to pay anybody to do anything, and it's really easy to just double click and to just write your own custom content on top of this. I'm not very good with Photoshop. I'm not very good with creating my own designs, but I am able to use a pre-existing design and then just leverage what they have already done and use it for my own. So here's a nice one, the new lawyers. This one looks very professional and corporate. Perhaps you use it for orthopedics, for example, and you're able to just put some statistics and leverage the words that are here for your particular site. So yeah, I find that very helpful. See if I can zoom in here.
I think one thing important is if you're gonna use something like this is make sure you have a phone number or a website URL, some kind of call to action. So if they look at this infographic, you can direct them what they need to do next. But yeah, sometimes you need to create these types of assets, we'll call them marketing assets, to help penetrate the industry that you're trying to get their attention.
Correct, and you also have these professional documents, so they could be letterheads and so forth. So if there's one that you want to give that's a little more professional, you can always do that as well. There's marketing materials as well. So this website does a great job at giving you different layouts. You can go find the right one that's for you. Choosing letterheads, as you'll see, you may want to make it a little bit more formal, so that you can browse those and maybe something you like.
Kind of like the Vista print for letters, right?
Kind of, exactly. So, and it's free. I like free, so it's a great tool for the price you pay, and hopefully that can help you.
The file you create, would that be a JPG file then, or would that be?
Yeah, you can download it. They always recommend you do it as it's a PNG, but you can download it as a JPEG as well.
Okay, great.
Something else for your site, Martin. Let me go back there real quick.
As people can see, I'm sorry. It's like I do use this. These are for our Facebook posts.
Whoops.
So these are our actual. Oh no, you stopped sharing. It's okay.
Take it back, Pat. You got it.
All right. So yeah. So we do use this for our own marketing. So this is again that magazine, and we just share social media posts. We love it for that. This particular layout is for sharing on Instagram and Facebook, and it's really cool because you could easily swap out images if that's not the image that you want. Upload your own images if you have images that you want. You can see these are our own images. You can put them on there, and it's a really cool tool for that for everybody watching the webinar. And then your social, because I'm not a designer, but I want to have professional posts on social media. So again, that's a great tool for this as well. That was it.
So Martin, what I was going to say also is, for this site, it did start as a directory to find orthopedic surgeons.
Right.
What I would recommend is, and you can do this very easily, is switching over to our lead gen theme, which basically what it does is it puts the form on the homepage so consumers can get matched with. Instead of searching the directory, you're going to capture the information of the consumer who's looking to find an orthopedic surgeon. I recently went to an orthopedic surgeon because I hurt my elbow. I had to go off of the urgent care's recommendations, which I wasn't happy about. But if there was a site like this, I would have just went on the internet and searched find orthopedic surgeon. And if I came to a site with the lead gen form and it said, tell us about your injury or what you're looking for, I would have filled this out, and I know I would get matched with orthopedic surgeons. So,
and for the lead gen, that's right through the admin.
Yeah, if you want, we can quickly just set it up. It takes 2 seconds.
Yeah, why don't you do it?
Okay.
Yeah, the other thing too with orthopedic surgeons is, you got to take them for like back surgeons and stuff. It takes months to see them, and you have certain questions like, do they use hardware? Do they use robotic surgery? And if I have a directory that helps do that and helps make it easier for consumers, they might like that.
Exactly. And prices and the type of insurance that they take would be good. So if you can, if you made their specialties instead of the type of, like, someone could be back or feet or whatever. I'm not an orthopedic surgeon, but if you use the subcategories to be the types of insurance that they accept, then people can search by the type of insurance, because that's very important when you're looking for medical services. So we'll just say fill in the form and get connected with orthopedic. How do you spell surgeon? Oh, sorry, I'm so bad at this. There we go. Let's copy and paste. And we'll get rid of this one, and might just take 1 second for trial and error on the size of the text. And also what I'm going to do is change your lead settings. And 1 moment, I just want to make sure.
Yeah. With the site, I'm still learning how to use it. But like I said, I have been building my network of orthopedic surgeons on LinkedIn and practice managers. I'm just trying to put it all together, in the near future, where I can contact them and be confident. And like I said, if you get one practice manager, you're liable to get a bunch of orthopedic surgeons. So like I said, but as you said before, with the consumers too, it's not just about the doctors. About the audience of your website. It's also about the consumers and the injured people too. So.
Exactly, like 5 questions to ask your orthopedic surgeon before finally choosing one. Are you an orthopedic surgeon by any chance?
No, I'm not. I have some back issues myself, so I'm familiar with orthopedics and orthopedic surgeons. And also I have a large medical domain of orthopedics and body parts. But like I said, I'm not an orthopedic surgeon myself, though.
Okay, gotcha. So we've added the lead form here. Let me just make this font size a little smaller. So this is just a step in the right direction. There's a lot more you can do. But if I was a consumer coming to this site now, I would be more inclined to fill out this form. Obviously, you want to put. It's a little dry right now, to be honest, but you probably want to put some confidence builders around the site. Potentially I know this is with our logo maker, potentially get a professional logo created just to add a little more credibility to the site and things like
that. Orthopedic surgeon say is a logo. Now, I don't have to keep that name, even though I have a domain name. I can call it something different, like orthopedic marketing or whatever I want, and just keep the domain name and just have a different logo, right?
Exactly. Now here's a whole nother angle. If you want to flip the script on your site, forget about the consumer 100%. I got to share this idea. What you could do is you could create orthopedic surgeons today could be a B2B website where your website provides orthopedic surgeons with how to get more, have a better orthopedic surgeon business, because it's all about their practice and promoting their practice.
Right, that's what I was going to do. I was going to call it orthopedic marketing, and also I was going to, like I said, use that as a entrance into getting them with other internet marketing services, maybe like pay-per-click or SEO or so forth. But I don't know if I come in with the directory first or the other services, but as a way for them to build up, like you said, their practice.
Grow their practice, promote their practice, how to invest their money for retirement planning. All sorts of different ways for an orthopedic surgeon to better their own personal lives as well as their practice. So that's a whole different angle. I mean, the consumer one, getting matched with an orthopedic surgeon or reading reviews, that's another angle, is just load the site with orthopedic surgeons and start getting reviews on them, because I'm sure some people are not happy with their surgeon, and some people are, I love the person I went to, I would write a review about them. So there's lots of different angles you can go through, use on this site.
That also, Jason, and similar to the recommendation I gave with a previous person, but again, putting yourself in the shoes of the person that's on your website. What would I feel if I had back problems and the form didn't say? Whenever I see fill the form and get connected, I'm always hesitant to fill these forms, because I'm like, oh, I'm going to be sold. I'm going to have to talk to a doctor. I'm going to talk to a sales rep. This is just to get my email. But if there's a service attached to the form, what is the reason you're filling out the form? So perhaps it says, tell us what back problems you're experiencing, and we'll tell you the best procedure to help take away those issues that you're feeling. And you ask very specific question: when did the injury occur? Where's the pain located? What is your age? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I come to your website, and I'm like, oh, wow, I've been feeling this for 2 years, and it's in my lower back. Yes, I heard it at work. No, I don't have any insurance. And I'm going to submit it, because I'm going to find out, ooh, you're going to tell me what you think. You're the expert of the industry, what kind of procedure I should get. Really what that does, it goes into your lead gen. Of course, you're going to have an email go out to the consumer, letting them go, thank you so much for filling out the form. What we're doing is we're reviewing your information, and we're going to find orthopedic specialists that are in a position to tell you exactly the procedure they recommend. So now the orthopedic doctor is thankful. You've just done the initial work for them. You're telling them, here's your patient's information.
I have to be careful not to give out medical advice, but if I refer to orthopedic surgeon, he'd be giving out the advice then, right?
Well, yes. That's what you say. You're just telling him, fill out this form, and then you tell them, thank you for the information. We're going to connect you to the surgeons, and they're going to tell you what the procedure should be. But the conversion rates are going to drastically increase, because the consumer, I'm now vested in filling out this form, because I want what? I want to cure my pain. I want to cure my issues. Right now, I feel like there's hope. I feel like if I just tell you what my problems are, that somehow I'm going to get what I need to resolve this issue. I'm much more likely to fill out this form than just to be connected to a surgeon. I don't want to be connected. I want answers. So that's an angle I really, really like.
I like that. It could be any surgeon too, but it's more specific. Like you said, a surgeon is kind of vague, because there's a lot of different orthopedics. So, right.
So, this is a great site, great domain name, by the way. So you have lots of different options here, and it looks like you have lots of different audiences you can choose to focus on. But the key would be to choose one or two audiences that you want to really attract, or the marketplace you're trying to create, the consumers and the orthopedic surgeons, or B2B, people who want to sell products and services to orthopedic surgeons. So,
well, those could be medical device people, because they want to sell products and services to orthopedic surgeons too. So like I said, now I just have I was focused on one area, but now it's like opening up after your earlier talk when you open up about who your audience is. My audience really can be for anybody.
Absolutely. All right, thank you for your question, Martin. Great stuff.
And Jason, just to let you know, it is getting about that time that it normally gets to. We're gonna have to wrap this puppy up.
All right. Let's take one more question here. Here's a new name that I haven't seen. Jesse. Jesse, are you with us? Are you there with us?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hey, Jesse, how are you?
Good.
Is this your first webinar with us? Name looks new to me.
Yes, this is the first time. I've only started my site about 6 weeks ago.
Okay, well, great that you can join us. What's your question for us today?
Well, yeah, just listening to I'm real new at this. We got a site that's, it's to find tour guides for adventures like hiking or, climbing or something like that.
Love that.
Not necessarily like big tourist destinations, but more like your special guide
like a local Sherpa
that you'd want to sign up to. Yeah, basically something like that. And we're listening to me and my wife are here. We're listening to everything that you've gone over tonight, and we kind of had an idea. You're talking about focusing on the consumer, which we really haven't done at all. But one of your other videos said, it points out what visitors are looking for. They want to be part of a community and, have special insights and special deals. And it kind of just occurred, it's almost like the lead gen site. If we were to have one of the pages on the site be a private page that only the visitors to the site that sign up and, give their email have access to, and also our members that are the paying members, because we have, 2 levels that are paying and 1 that's free, but only the paying members could have access to, and it could almost be where they can ask questions, where the members could post, little blog posts or pictures, basically, advertise themselves, interact with people, and have it be kind of a more interactive and private community that people looking for these types of adventures might be interested in doing. And I just wanted to know if you've ever seen something like that, put together, or had any suggestions on it.
Yeah. Do you mind if we take a look at your site real quick?
Sure.
What is it called?
It's findadventuretours.com.
Yeah, I've been noticing a theme the last few weeks where a lot of people's ideas, especially when they're creating local business directories, they're ultimately creating travel sites where people can find information on traveling. In this case, it's adventure tours. Patrick actually was an adventure tour guide in a past life himself.
I was.
He was, for real. So he's very familiar with this. But, the consumer here, and we go back to the retreats example that we saw earlier in the webinar, where what you want to do is give people tips on things to look out for, how to plan for an adventure tour, how to know what level of adventure tour you're ready for. Adventure tours for the family, adventure tours for couples, adventure tours for the individual, the lone ranger trying to explore the world. So again, coming back to content creation would probably be a good strategy for this. It will, because it's lifestyle, it will do very well on social media like Facebook and Instagram. And it's very easy to create, again, those top 5, top 10 lists. Add the listings yourself into the website. Then contact the companies, let them know that they've been featured. Hopefully you can get more engagement from them. Maybe you can create contests like Patrick did on Sosmami, where maybe someone can win an adventure with someone, as in exchange for, advertising or something like that. So I think I don't want to repeat it, but I would say kind of the tips that we gave on the retreat site have a lot of parallels with this type of site as well.
Yeah, and this brings back a lot of memories for me. I often wonder what would I didn't have any marketing insight. My first business was exactly something similar to that, but focused on Costa Rica. But if I could go back in time, what I would have done is I would have taken amazing pictures of Costa Rica, and I would have taken people on the journey of traveling in Costa Rica. I would have focused on the activities and the sights and the sounds. So I think what content would captivate your audience probably more than anything else is take me on the journey. Write an article that says there's this trail, or there's this cave, or there's this place that you can go to, and you try to find places that others haven't heard of before, and you make sure that you have a call to action. You have clickbait of sorts. So when you do drive the traffic there, and people say, wow, this hike looks amazing, or this other cave looks amazing, I absolutely want to go there, that you have something to offer them in exchange for that email. And I think that content would absolutely captivate it. So when I see website blog, I think blah, it's very boring. I don't want to click on that because there's blogs everywhere. But if I had it said hidden gems or hidden treasures or top hikes or something like that, now I'm like, ooh, I want to see what the hidden gems are. I want to know what they think they are. And if the whole section is like, this whole section is where you're going to find the places that no one else knows about. You can also have two blogs. You could have a blog that's open to the public that you could call hiking trails, and then you can have a community one that you promote on all these pages. That's like only the real adventure tour if aficionados want access to this. So if you're really an adventurer, then you sign up for our newsletter. It will unlock the real hidden gems, the places that only insiders know about. These are like the common touristy spots. And if you want to know the hiking trails that I have friends that are really into hiking, and they know specific trails that the regular person wouldn't know about. If you want access to that, then you give us your email. So that's just an idea as well.
That's kind of what I was thinking. To replace the ask a question section would be that's like the special content page. Maybe we could even have our member guides. If they want to post a blog, that's where their blog would show up with like their secret tips or destinations or something like that, with still having the lead generation box next to it even.
Or even next level stuff is you would have the blog article to talk about the trail, and you could have the video section, which could be local guides talking about that particular trail. If you want to hear the tips from a local guide, subscribe. And then the whole video section, you can start getting the guides themselves. In exchange for a video, perhaps they get a 1-year free listing where they talk about specific trails or adventures, and they give tips to the public, but they can only get access to those tips if people sign up for that access.
For the newsletter and the access. Okay, great. Yeah, I like it.
And then I wanted to share one more thing. Once you've got the content down that's appealing to the consumers, because I was on this website, I'm expecting, so we were looking for a last-minute cruise or adventure we could go on ourselves, and we found this website, Last Minute Cruises. And so you're talking about finding adventures. I was trying to find a cruise, and this one would lend itself more to the directory aspect. And you can create things where get special offers on or whatever, some kind of a pop-up that captures emails of people that want deals on adventures and things like that. And then there's obviously, again, this is for the directory side of it, people actually looking for them. And there's different destinations. You can select a date. So again, this would be like an event, or in your case, it doesn't need to be an event. It just needs to be, a company or a person. And then there's different options here, and then you can search. So when you're thinking about the directory part of it, it could be the type of adventure, the location, maybe the time they want to spend, and things like that. I just wanted to share that as well.
Sure. I was going to actually, once I have some, the top level members are the only ones that can post to events, and I was going to have a scrolling widget on the front page that just has the 25 most recent events on there, so there's always a current item that someone can click on.
And I would recommend one more thing, if I might. One last thing. You have outdoor adventure guides here. Again, lastminutecruises.com. The name obviously says exactly what it is. You're probably going to get a good deal on a cruise at the last minute, and you're going to find, with the logo, there's a sense of speed. In this case, what I would recommend is you need to create some kind of desire, let's call it. And just as an example, you probably want to change this. So you have outdoor adventure guides. Let's give the user just a little bit more. Find amazing, and again, you can change it. Memorable outdoor adventure guides, or I guess in your case, the guides are the actual people that you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
But the people are providing an experience, right? Like rock climbing in the Moab, Utah, or something like that.
Sure.
So I think, guys, amazing outdoor adventure, let's say experience.
Outdoor adventures or something.
Yeah, outdoor adventures. That's fine. We can just end it there. So what we've done now is you're getting them a little bit more excited. Let me refresh the page here. Well, you can get it on 2 lines and whatnot, but you're getting them just a little bit more excited about the potential that this website can offer them. You can decide what you want the descriptive words to be: amazing, memorable, unforgettable, unique. But that way you're kind of speaking to the imagination of the potential website visitor and getting them excited to use your website rather than just saying search for outdoor adventures.
Mm. Yeah. Okay.
As an example, can I
like it.
Let me just. So sometimes when this happens, I'll just a teachable moment here. If you want this on like, if this is getting pushed to a line, there is a setting here. It's called the title widths. And again, talking about Bootstrap again, there's 12 columns. We're going to increase this to 8 columns, and that should allot enough space for this to be on 2 lines rather than 3 lines. Hopefully, let me refresh the page. And if it's not, we'll just leave it. There we go. So find amazing and memorable outdoor adventures.
Okay.
All right, but I love the site, and I love it. I've actually talked about this idea with a couple friends in the past. We never moved on it. We were too busy working on the Brilliant Directories software. But I think this is a great concept to find local guides that can, even local cities. If you're going to Toronto for 2 nights and you want someone to show you around, it doesn't have to be outdoor. It could be urban as well. So I think this is a. Really
I thought of a possible expansion in the future. I kind of came up with this because it's something I want to do. And if you were going to go to say, Tanzania or something, go on safari, you would want to be more out with the people rather than just hitting the touristy spots. You'd actually get to experience the culture a little bit too.
Yep.
So it's something I want to do. So I'm going down that line.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jesse, for sharing your site with us.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Great sites that were shown today. I think that Jesse, you said something. These webinars aren't just to answer questions; it's to stimulate ideas. And not only are we learning, but I hope you guys are learning out there and getting new ideas on ways to look at your website business. And it might be different from your original idea, but hopefully it can expand the horizons and possibilities compared to your original idea. So we'll end this webinar Wednesday. We really appreciate you guys joining. It's great to be with you here. The contest of the week, just leave a YouTube comment. Go to brilliantdirectories.com/shoutout. We really appreciate it. Everyone's a winner. You'll get a $50 credit to your Brilliant Directories account. And hip hip hooray for Kenny Brooker, the design champion for this week. And if you have more questions that we weren't able to get to in this webinar, please go ahead to the brilliantdirectories.com /LinkedIn page, and you can join our LinkedIn group. You can ask marketing strategy questions there. So if you have any questions about strategy and marketing your directory website, it's a great place to continue the conversation. Next webinar will be in 2 weeks. So not next week, but it will be in 2 Wednesdays from now, and we hope to see you in that webinar as well. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Looking forward to it. Thanks a lot, everyone.